Good day everyone, Brad here with a new mock alternate build from the 75375 Millennium Falcon. I have the Millennium Falcon. This being my 30th alternate build from this set, I thought I would actually tackle the set itself and see if I could improve on the design of the Millennium Falcon. First thing I did though was I looked at the set and I noticed it kind of looks chibi to me. Like things are bigger than they should be for the size of the scale. Like the cockpit, the lining up here, the sides are a little too small but too thick. Like there's just some design things that I thought looked a little weird. And I wanted to do a complete ground up Millennium Falcon and try and make it look a little more accurate to how it does in the movies. Now this build, I don't have another one next to it. What I mean by that is I don't have a actual set build to compare them. But just by taking a look, it looks like the one I have here it's definitely longer, I can tell that, and it might be a little bit wider too. So one of the big things I did that's a little bit different is you'll see there's no slopes, no angles. So the way this is built is it's kind of odd. There's like it's almost like a T, and then you have connected bending parts in the middle. This is all a flat build, all completely flat, which helps with stability too. But I also did that because the Millennium Falcon in the movies is actually pretty thin. It's not all that thick, and it doesn't go up like crazy. So I wanted to make it this way. So you can see kind of sloped up stuff with the bricks to get the curved design. Also, I wanted to make sure the nose was a little bit longer, a little more detail in there, because I didn't like how these pieces were right here on the edge, because in the movie they're closer to the middle. So I wanted to make sure I captured that as well. The angle of the front, I wanted to get that too. This part here to me looked a little too bulky, too stand-downy, so I made it a little more subtle here. The radar dish I thought was a little too bulky for the size of the ship, so I made it smaller as well. And that's kind of my trick to making midi-scale ships. If there's a part on the ship that you're trying to build, and if the question is, do you have to make it a little too big or a little too small, I always go for a little too small, because if you make it a little too big, it starts to look a little wonky. Just typically, that's how I do things in MIDI scale. So if I can't make something or a specific part the exact scale that it needs to be, I'll always go slightly smaller. So the back here, this actually worked out pretty good. I like how that turned out. So you'll notice that the tube doesn't fully connect onto the pin here. It's a 3-length pin. It only goes to the first part on both sides. And then the guns, I changed those as well. And then the side, another part I thought was a little weird is how the side comes out, but then the middle goes in. And it actually comes out, so you'll see I have it coming out further than it would. And one of the parts I'm actually most happy with is how the cockpit kind of comes out in angles. It's still actually a little bit too big for the size of the ship. So what I did was try to make it go from a 4 wide here down to a 3 wide in this back portion. So that is how I got away with that. And then taking off the top here, I'm going to show you the bottom real quick. Nothing too crazy on the bottom, and that's kind of the sacrifice by not having dual panels like you get in the official set. It is detailed on the bottom on the official set. But I didn't do that on this one, mainly because you don't see the bottom when you have it on display. And finally, I was able to keep the stand actually exactly like it is in the set, except for this piece. I don't see that. I don't have that on here. Normally I always take off the plaque here. Sometimes I include it in the build. But because this is a Millennium Falcon, I thought I would keep it as intended by the model. So yeah, that is going to do it for this. I'm going to have instructions available in the description down below to my Rebrickable page. And actually, I forgot to show you, it is very sturdy and swooshable and solid. So you don't have to worry about it falling apart if you're trying to move it around. So yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.